Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper. Guys, I just wanted to tell you a thought that I had on the road today while I'm starting my day, is that the world is ran by corporations, not by governments. And I know that that may be something that a lot of people already know, but from a spiritual prepping standpoint, after you read Revelation 18, I say it the other day on Sabbath, and I reread Revelation again for the umpteenth time, which is not a bad thing. We should stay in the Word. But the more I look at it, the more I keep reviewing. I mean, like, it just seems like my wife, I said the other day, I told her, I said, I think I'm going to reread Second Ezra. She's like, you just read that recently. And it's like Baruch, Ezra's, Revelation, Daniel. It should be a revolving door right now for everybody for the end times. But anyway, I just got to thinking about this today. It hit me like a brick. It's like, stop ever worrying about laws that's passed. Stop worrying about anything anymore, because you got to understand that we are being ran right now by corporations. I almost just would look at it like, for people that know, like Resident Evil, right, is like it was the Umbrella Corporation, right? And right now it's like Pfizer and Moderna and all these other jokers out here helping work on the new zombie apocalypse coming up. I never used to believe in zombie apocalypse. I just used to laugh that stuff off, and I really am starting to wake up and be a believer that is a possibility now at this point. I just want to go on the record and say that, okay? But I just want to stay on point today is corporations, just real quick, is people get so bent up political. They're like, oh, stupid liberal Democrats, stupid Republicans, blah, 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 blah. And guys, I'm a libertarian, just FYI. That's where I fall in when it comes to political things, all things political. But I really feel like, and I hate to use the word feel because everybody always uses that word so many different ways to justify such ridiculous things, but my gut feeling is that more and more time passes, you're going to see it come down to where the big tech and big pharmaceutical pretty much control everybody. I mean, it is just moving that direction. And the reason I say that is because earlier this past year, and let me see, a year and a half ago, I think I noticed starting whenever Rona started is that like YouTube was clamping down on saying anything. Search results are getting clamped down, news clamping down, government clamping down, and it's like there's certain individuals that I would say that are have a political asylum that you just can't touch them. Just like with like the Pope, right? You take it, you get it, you die. They're, because it was an emergency act, they're held blameless, right? That's, in my opinion, that's political asylum, right? I'm just saying, like, politically protected, government protected. And so, it's like big tech, big pharmaceutical, big banks have always been around, but I got to be honest with you guys, I think at this point, the pharmaceuticals and the big tech own the banks. If you look at the richest people in the world, I think it was the other day I looked at it, because I've been watching this dance routine between Bezos and Musk, is that if you look at the top 10 people in the world that are wealthy, don't quote me on this, look this up, Google this, because I seen this the other day, but I think 9 out of 10 of them, it might have been 10 out of 10, but I'm pretty certain it was at least 9 out of 10, were all big tech company owners. All right? Big tech. That was the people at the very top of the wealth. That should send up red flags right there. And like the whole thing with AI moving forward, what really concerns me, and I'll take no credit for this, I'll always point this out every time I can remember it, that Ron Dalton pointed this out to me when he came and spoke at the conference that me and Brother Joel put together, the Restoring Foundations Conference, which I'd love to do again maybe next year, y'all willing, I got the money, and people will help support that, is that he talked about that 2025 AI would be fully autonomous. And I think that, as we move forward, the one thing that's really kept big tech and big pharmaceutical from really having their claws in everyone is needing AI. You see, a lot of times you'll see wickedness and a place of high power evil, and they'll get gone, right? And then there'll be somebody that'll come in and fill that power vacuum. in the 40s, and it was Nazi Germany, right? 30s, 40s. And then after them, then the next thing was Russia. And then the next thing, and then the next thing, and then it's Al Qaeda, and then next thing it's, it's just always, there's just always going to be a power vacuum filled by something else when it happens. We used to actually have a republic at one point in this country, but now that is gone. And you need to understand, like, if you're a Democrat, Republican watching this, you need to just hang that mess up. It's gone, okay? All the novelties are there that say this or that, but we are owned by a corporation. Matter of fact, if we're honest, the United States of America is a corporation. And when it was originally set up, the so-called black man, the Native American, people like that just didn't even really have ownership in anything of this country. I'm just being honest here, all right? And I'm not trying to pander anybody anyway, because I just don't care anymore where you're from, who you are, whatever. If you don't believe in y'all, I just really don't care who you are. I'll just be honest with you. I don't care about your struggles. I don't care, all right? Matter of fact, I seen this thing the other day. It really hit me hard. Somebody said, is it white privilege, or is it that we didn't break a covenant? And I was like, whoa. I was like, don't want to sound racist at all, but I was like, that really hit me, because I was like, you know what, just because it wasn't my ancestors that was spoke to on the mountaintop. And that really hit me the other day, because I'm like, we're in the Black History Month, and I've seen these shirts in Target, and it was like Black Power and blah blah blah, and I'm like, if that shirt said white power, I'd be called a racist if I wore that in town. I'm just saying. And so, like, there's all this division in our country already, and in the world for that matter, and we're so broken down that I think most people are still so hung up in politics and all this crap and garbage and everything that they don't really see that the underlying thing is like Uncle Joe. I'm just going to be straight with you. Uncle Joe is bought and paid with pharma. I mean, these people, like back when Epstein got suicided himself, they were going on about the Epstein Island and pedophilia and all the stuff, like, look, adrenochrome and all that thing. Now that I have no doubt about. But one thing has been on the fence for a while is, it's like watching NASCAR. It's like, do these people, if politicians walked around with everybody that they were bought and paid for by, they'd look like NASCAR people racing. But you don't even have to question it anymore, because anybody that has the least bit of wisdom can look around and see that at the baseline that pharmaceutical companies and big tech own everyone important anymore. And they are the ones in behind, like if we're watching The Wizard of Oz, right? It's the guy behind the curtain pulling the strings, right? And of course, Satan is the ruler of this world currently. And I mean, it's just a mess. But I mean, like, I say all this at the end of the day to just help you understand that if you would just focus on Yah's kingdom, my goal this year in my life is to put any creeping in sin away. Don't let my sins drag me down. Stay focused on the kingdom and stop getting up every day hoping things are going to get better, because I just see a decline in this world, and I keep telling myself, well, there'll be another good spell. I don't know if there will be. I don't know if there'll be another good span for a bit, but what I do need to look at and understand is where we're at on the chessboard. And I'm looking so much deeper than country boundaries anymore, political stances, stuff like that. All I look at it anymore is all these people are bought and paid for by corporations. And I just wanted to point that out, because I think a lot of people get wrapped up in politics. They get wrapped up and they hate their neighbor and their brother, and everybody's torn by parties and torn by colors and torn by creed and race, and which we're only the human race, just saying that too, and just all this crap. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, well, we all killing each other down here in the mud. The elite and the rich and the pedophiles and the Satan worshipers and the Illuminati and these Freemason Jesuits and all these people, man, they sitting on their fine couches, sipping their wine, eating their grapes, like one of these fresco paintings from way back in the day where everybody's sitting on the cloud eating their grapes and stuff, with the angels or whatever. I'm like, we're all over here just living in the mud, killing each other, hating each other, and at the end of the day, all these people just raking in the profits. So guys, just be aware to that, is that as time goes on and continues to go on, you're going to see it come to the forefront. Pretty much whatever these pharmaceutical drug sorcery companies, and Revelation 18, read Revelation 18, pharmaceutical drug sorcery companies want, and I would say a strong second behind that would be big tech, because you really need big tech to have big pharmaceutical. Just saying, they walk hand in hand. And so when you see the merchants of the earth, the Revelation 18, you can see we're living in the last days. And I think that's one of the greatest proponents right now, is that I'm to the point where I don't want to disrespect my elders, but I'm telling you what, I've gotten into it. This is the last thing I'm going to say. I've gotten into it with people that used to be pastors, that, people, elders, whoever they are. I will not tolerate you. I will call you right on the carpet, and anybody else for that matter, that says we are not living. Sorry, guys, bumped my phone. That we are not living in the last days. I will not tolerate that anymore. Like, we are literally living in the last days, and I would argue in the end of days, that last portion of the last days. And so anyway, when we see things continue to fall off the rails here in the near future, keep an eye on it and watch and see what I'm saying, and see if I am lying to you, that pharmaceutical, drug sorcery, tech companies, and big tech, this will be the people that is pulling the strings on everybody else. So guys, always till we see you again here, 7 Times Purple Channel. Hope Most High Yah Baruch you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends, in Yahushua name.